Welcome to Pre-Match Focus with your host Tim, and just Tim today. No Lee, he's on his holiday. So it's going to be a quick one today. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through the injuries. I'm going to go through the scores. Lee's put his scores and his tips for the weekend. So nothing really changes in that regard. So here we go. So let's start off. Saturday, the 13th of August. We've got a 12:30 kickoff, which sees Aston Villa at home to Everton. Steven Gerrard and Lampard come up against each other. So we'll start off 2-1, I think, to Steven Gerrard. I think Villa will just have a little bit too much for Everton. I think, how do you get at Villa? To be honest, in the wide areas, the fullbacks are quite tidy, really. But with the uncertainty in defence, Tyrone Mings obviously was out. We had Courtney Hawes, which was out, is available on the next week. And we had a knee injury. And Tyrone Mings should be back for selection for this game. So let's look at Everton, shall we? So Everton. Andros Townsend still away, knee injury. Ben Godfrey still away with a calf injury. He was sustained against Chelsea. Dominic Calvert-Lewin back in a week's time with his knee injury. I'm telling a lie, actually. Andros Townsend's not back till the 1st of January with his knee injury. Sorry, guys. Just catching up on all this while I'm doing it. Ben Godfrey's back on 26th of December. Perfect timing for just after Christmas. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the 17th of next month. So you've got just over a month till Dominic Calvert-Lewin's available. We've got Andre Gomez, which is back next week on the 20th of August. Tom Davies should be available for selection this week with the late fitness test, could be on the bench. Yerry Mina, there's no return date as yet. He's sustained ankle ligament injuries, so he will very much be in doubt for Everton. So, looking at what everyone's got available to them, I'd say Aston Villa 2-1, I reckon. Lee's gone with 2-0. And the tip for this one is Villa to keep a clean sheet. I didn't say so. Lee said so. He's the tip man. So let's go with it. So on to the 3 o'clocks. The first of the 3 o'clocks we're going to talk about is Arsenal at home to Leicester. Arsenal in great form at the minute. Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko proving to be absolutely wonderful signings. I think Jesus will get on the score sheet this week. I think it'll be 2-0, and Lee's also gone with 2-0. I think we'll have just a little bit too much for Leicester. Leicester obviously conceding late goals against Brentford last week in the Sunday fixture. I think Arsenal will be a bit too strong for Leicester this week. Unless Fofana and co have an absolute worldie. It's football, can happen. So, but yeah, 2-0 all round. Tip for this one, Gabriel Jesus to score. Okay. Second of the 3 o'clock kickoffs sees. Oh, wait a minute. Getting ahead of myself again, ain't I? See, it doesn't work without Lee, does it? So anyway, let's move over. Let's see what injuries we've got in this game. Arsenal at home. Fabio Ferreira Vieira out till the 13th of August, sorry. On the 24th of July, it said Fabio probably a little bit longer. I think he needs another week so before he starts with the team. He's been working very hard. So could be available for selection, late fitness test, give it a 50-50 here. Also available this week is Emile Smith-Rowe. Comment on the 17th of July was we had a meal as well with a muscular niggle. It's a matter of days. So yeah, and Reece Nelson, there's no return date as yet. He felt something in training, muscular injury. Hope he'll be back soon. So not too bad for Arsenal really. And we've got Leicester. Let's see what Leicester we've got. 3 injuries. Ricardo Pereira, not back, unfortunately for him again. Serious. He's just had a torrid time with injury. Not back till 11th of February 2023. So Ryan Bertrand, yet again, injured with a knee injury. He hasn't featured at all, and he's still a number of weeks away from being fit. We reckon go potential return date 17th of September. And Harvey Barnes is a couple of weeks away with a knee injury. He's been with the medical team. Still has an irritation around the knee, but doesn't have an exact time on that. Potentially 27th of August. So, 2 strong players for Leicester. And Arsenal looking fairly back to full fitness, really. So, yeah, 2-0, 2-0. Gabriel Jesus to score. On to Brighton at home to Newcastle. Brighton, great result. Well, was it a great result against our boys United last week? Oh, I don't know. I'd just say that's where United are at the minute. He'll come good in time. I've got a bit of faith in Eric Ten Hag, but Brighton lose a couple of the star players, and to be fair, they don't look any different. It just shows the great work that Graham Potter's doing at Brighton. I think to transform Danny Welbeck looking like he was 10 years ago deserves some plaudits, really. I just think they look really good. They've got a good unit. It's a good team. It's a good team which works hard together. And Leicester did it. They won the league with it. Potter's doing it. He's obviously not that high up, but could be a strong season. They could be looking to finish just around mid-table, top half this year. That'll be a great season for them. So we're going Newcastle. Yeah. Newcastle are just strengthening all the time after everybody. Could feel the impact of still no Champions League, still no European football. Until they kind of get up that table a little bit, it's tough to see where Newcastle end up being. But I think they've definitely strengthened, and they look a lot more solid. They don't look like they're going to concede half the goals that they were. They're a threat in front of goal. But tough game away at Brighton, and we reckon it's going to both of us actually. We've agreed again, 1 apiece in this one. Lee reckons the tip for this one is over 9 corners. I'm going to give you the injuries for this one. We've got Jakob Moder, who's not it's a long-term one. That's 25th of February. That was a knee injury. And Stephen Alzate is returning potentially this week. He's got a 50-50 chance. It's a late fitness test. Ankle injury. So not too bad for Brighton, really. And Newcastle got 6 injuries. John Joe Shelby with a thigh injury out until 26th of December. Wow. Got Federico Fernandez. He's back next week. So Fede again has done a couple of days. Gently we introduced him. Very keen to see him consistently train with us. 21st of August. Also on the 21st of August is Jamal Lewis. He won't be available this week. Calf injury. Emil Kraft with a thigh injury. Wasn't really an injury, it was more just tiredness. And he had 2 scans and they've come back clear. Don't think there's an injury, but maybe a problem that's stopping him from getting into full speed. Hopefully it'll be short term. and he should be back next week. And then you've got two boys back this week for selection after their injuries. Got Javier Manquillo with his groin injury. He's been back in training. And Jamal Lascelles with his thigh injury. He should be back for selection this week. Jamal's okay, missed the early part of training this week, but came back towards the end, so we anticipate he'll be fit. Ideal. Right then, on to Manchester City at home to Bournemouth. And Haaland's already scoring. Haaland's already scoring. Scored 2 against West Ham. I just think he's going to score 30-odd goals this season in the Premier League comfortably. And these are the games where he's going to get acres of goals. Absolute oodles of goals. I've gone 5-0. Lee's been a bit more generous and gone 4-0. And the tip for this one is City to score over 3.5 goals. And I think it's definitely a possibility this week. Haaland's going to score plenty of goals. I think he'll be on the score sheet this weekend again. Love how he just picks up the ball. Never played for him before. Picks up the ball and having the penalties. Cool as a cucumber. Slots it away. So, right. Let's have a look at some injuries then. Manchester City. Aymeric Laporte with his knee injury. He's back on the 10th of next month. He's not going to be available just yet. He had surgery after last season. We need to be careful because it's the knee. I think he will be out in August and maybe in September he'll start to be with us. Calvin Phillips won't be available this week. Should be back next week on the 21st. Calvin has some niggles and won't be able to play. And Cole Palmer has a late fitness test this week. Should be available for selection. Had a knock in his feet on the last day and is a doubt for tomorrow. But who knows? Could be. See whether he gets a late fitness call. And Bournemouth. We've got 3. David Brooks, not back till 1st of October. It's incredible he's come through what he's come through, and he's on the pathway of becoming fit again. He's still got a lot to do. He's very ill, so we need to tread carefully with him. Joseph Rothwell with his thigh injury, back on the 10th of September. Joe's probably a little bit behind. Fredericks, still not out on the grass at this present moment in time. He's progressing the right way, though. And Ryan Fredericks himself with his calf injury. Ryan has come on a little bit, to be fair. He's out on the grass. He's pushing ahead in the right direction. Probably a few more weeks from him being fully integrated into training. So, David Brooks and Ryan Fredericks, obviously, key-ish players for Bournemouth at the minute. And I think City haven't really got too many problems, and they can field 2 sides, to be honest. I can't see anything other than an absolute thrashing here. So if I'm wrong, then send us a message and say, hey, you're digging out my Bournemouth boys. And I'll apologise because I'm like that, you see. But on to Southampton at home to Leeds. Right. I think there's going to be a winner here, but Lee obviously thinks not going to be much difference in it. So I'm going with 2-1 to Leeds in this one. I think Jesse Marsh has actually added something there. He's got rid of, obviously, Rafinha's had to go. He's gone for big money. And Calvin Phillips obviously gone for decent money as well. And what they've done is they've spent it very, very wisely and brought in some absolutely fantastic players, you know, just some really good players that fit his kind of way of playing. A bit like Ten Hag's trying to do, but more on the budget. Well, is he? More on the budget, who knows? And Southampton, tough one really, because I think they should be safe-ish. I went with them to go down. I just think, but I watched them after the last weekend. And to be honest, at times they don't look too bad, Southampton. But I mean, I can't believe they didn't play. I wonder what he was thinking at the end of the day. Che Adams struggling up front, just struggling for goals. And this is why I think Leeds will be victorious 2-1 this weekend. And Leeds gone for a draw, 1 apiece. So, tip for that one is 40 plus booking points. And see some injuries. Right, Southampton, Valentino Livramento's still not back. He's got a long-term injury. That's 1st of January. Not before the World Cup, but he's in time, I think. I don't know if he's had a schedule or not, but this is not the question at the moment. Nathan Teller, with his knee injury, should be available for selection this weekend, to be honest. Nathan was also out with injury for a little while. He was training today for the first time. So, late fitness test, should imagine. No return date for Theo Walcott. Shocker. Theo's not had pre-season so far, and he's not back in training. Could retire this boy soon, I reckon. And Lianco, Silvero, Neves, Vonovic. We only had Lianco during the week not training with the team because he had a problem with his knee, so he's being assessed at the moment. And Leeds. 6 injuries for Leeds. They've struggled constantly with injuries. We've got Stuart Dallas not out. He's out till the 1st of January, which is a big shock for Leeds. Stuart's made really good progress and had a couple of checkups after a severe injury, and they feel like he's right on track. So could be slightly before if he does well, but I'd say it'd be wise to probably leave it till the potential return date. Luke Ayling is not back till next month, starting next month, 3rd of September-ish. He had a visit to his surgeon in London, and the surgeon said he's had a schedule, looking really good, just needs a bit more time. Hector Junior Firpo. Junior's probably a couple of weeks behind, probably back at the end of this month, 30th, around about that stage. Then 3 returns this week, which is great news for Leeds. Captain Liam Cooper, he's had an Achilles issue from the off-the-season program. He's been program running on a treadmill. It's taken him a long time to get back into training. But this week he's been on the pitch doing individual work finally. He'll not be available this weekend, but hopefully next weekend he'll be in the team training. Luis Fernando Sinistera, with his thigh injury, should be back for selection this week. We've been cautious, but we felt so good that we've introduced him in the training. He's obviously not 100% fit, but I still think there's a good possibility that he can help us with limited minutes. So I expect a sub-appearance potentially from Sinistera. And Adam Forshaw, who played a big part of last season. Adam's made a really good progress with a knee medial cruciate ligament damage. It's not pure medial cruciate ligament issue. It's a little different than that. And he'll hopefully be back in training. So could feature probably next week, I reckon, Adam Forshaw. So there we go. And on to the last of the 3 o'clocks for Saturday, which sees Leeds Wolves at home to Fulham, who have started off with an absolute blinder. That draw with Liverpool was a fantastic result. And to be honest, they looked fearless. They looked a different Fulham. They looked like they had a plan. They looked like they were going to go at them and just take the ball by the horns a little bit, really. And it shocked Liverpool. It's the first time I've actually seen Liverpool look a bit stunned at what they were up against. And this is Fulham. So fair play to Fulham. Signed well, but made plenty of signings. It's looking all right for them, to be honest. Pereira, wasn't sure about Pereira United, but looked all right at Flamengo. He's come back to the Premiership, signed for Fulham. And yeah, got taken off for about just over an hour, I think, last week. So we'll see where he gets on. But I reckon it's going to be a 2-2 draw, and Lee's gone with a 1-1 draw. And the tipping bet for this one is both teams to score. So let's have a look at injuries. So we've got Wolves have had it, haven't they, again? We've got Francisco Tavares Oliveira. So Chiquinho, as he's known, is not bad. What a shocker. 1st of April next year. Chiquinho underwent knee surgery following injuries to his anterior cruciate and lateral collateral ligament injuries. So he's recuperating at the moment. We've got Raul Jimenez. He's not back till probably next week, maybe the week after, actually, back end of the month with his knee injury. He stretched for the ball and felt something in his knee and his groin. Scans reveal that he has suffered an MCL, medial cruciate ligament, and a minor strain of his adductor. Neither injury is very serious, but he's expected to be out for a few weeks. Nelson Semedo, back next week on the 22nd with his thigh injury. Semedo and Adama need to improve their fitness because they didn't do a pre-season and work this new dynamic and new system with these players. João Felipe Moutinho, back next week, 20th, with his ankle injury. It was a strange injury because he tried to shoot and twist his left foot in last training. Sometimes it's a problem for 1, 2 or 3 days. Let's see how he improves. I don't think it's a hard injury, but let's see how much time he has to recover. Adama Traore should be available for selection from tomorrow. So Semedo and Adama need to improve the fitness. It could be a late fitness test for Adama. We have Fulham. So Harry Wilson. It's a week by week thing, this. Doesn't look so long, but 6, 8 weeks it could be. Could be like beginning of October with his knee injury. And then they've got Nathaniel Chalobah, who should be available for selection this weekend. Played last Friday, had a game behind closed doors. He got injured in that game, so nothing too serious. Joe Bryan, wrist and hand injury, metacarpal fracture, so he should be back with a late fitness test this weekend. And Mana Solomon, there's no return date, so he'll probably get surgery in the next few days. When he gets the surgery, we'll have more news. We'll be sure about the timeline for him to come back. He looks a long time injured. Let's see. I think it's better we wait. So Fulham, Harry Wilson, big miss, good player, but they have had a lot of reinforcement, so it might not be as big a miss as they initially think. A few weeks' time it could be. Fatigue starts setting in. So, on to the 5:30 kickoff, which sees Brentford at home to my boys Manchester United. I think it could go 1 or 2 ways. I don't think they'll lose this game. It could be a draw, but I think United will win this game. I think it will come good. I think they could win 3-1. That's what I've got down. Got to be confident. Got to be confident, haven't we? No. Lee's gone with a 2-1 win. And the tip for this one is a United win. I just think Brentford, they haven't got enough squad depth for me. And I think I've just seen how it went prior to Christian Eriksen coming into that side last year. And big loss for him. Big game for Man United, absolutely. He's probably the only player that's worth a United shirt, in my opinion. But yeah, I think United will overcome Brentford in this game. And as does Lee. So United win is the tip. Let's have a look at some injury news. So Facundo Pellistri out till the 2nd of October with an ankle injury. Anthony Martial not back for another month or so, yeah, just over a month, 5 weeks with his thigh injury. Brandon Williams, undisclosed, no return date. Victor Lindelof, sad or not, is currently being assessed. Obviously, the Mason Greenwood thing, not return or play matches until further notice. So other than that, fairly at strength. Brentford, Christopher Aya. Chris is out with a hamstring injury, but he's aiming to be back mid to late August. So we could see him next week. Sergi Canos Tenes. Canos is out with a hamstring injury. He's looking at a similar return date as Christopher Aya, mid to late August. So probably be a bit tight for this week, I should imagine. Should be back potentially next week. And Ethan Pinnock No return date as of yet for Ethan. He has a knee injury. Doesn't want to put a time frame on that one. He's just out at the moment. So yeah, the way things are going for him, I just think he had a good result, Brentford, last week. He struggled in parts against Leicester, and I just think I expect United to be a bit stronger than Leicester this year. And but we'll see. So yeah, 3-1, 2-1, Man United win for the tip. On to Sunday the 14th of August. Sees Jesse Lingard's Nottingham Forest at home to West Ham in the first game at 2 o'clock. What can I say about that? It's all about the money. It's all about the dum-dum, da-da-dum-dum. 100% about the money. Should have gone to West Ham, where they loved him, fans loved him, players loved him, fitting like a dream there. Suited his style of play. Maybe he's thinking, I don't know, I just think if he'd come out and said something and said, listen, it's my last paycheck, my last big contract, I'm going for the money. People might have gone, oh, yeah, fair play. But he signed a 1-year contract. And in a 1-year contract, that tells me one thing. He fully expects him to go down this year. I've never heard of too many 1-year contracts unless you're of an age, should I say, a bit more mature in football. But I just think he could be right, though. He's not started off great. A couple of star players gone. Obviously, Lingard's come in, signed a couple of players. But I think it's going to be 2-1 to West Ham. Lee's gone with 1 apiece. West Ham, too early to say. They didn't look the same team, obviously. They had a few opportunities against City, but nothing to really write home about. I think, in general, City are going to be way too strong for teams like this year. Proof will be in the pudding. It'll be the Liverpool City game where it'll be telling this year, I should imagine. City just look, it's not winning. Makes me sick, it does. So, yeah, 2-1 for me. Lee with 1-1. And Lee reckons Jesse Lingard's going to be the scorer. So, keep an eye on that one. Let's have a look at the injury news. Nottingham Forest. Omar Richards out till the 1st of October. Omar's picked up an injury. Still getting to the bottom of it, but it's unfortunate what has happened. It's not going to be a few days, but it's not going to be months and months and months. So, out. Calf or heel injury. Ryan Yates, 20th of August, so another week for Ryan. He hasn't got back in time, he's not far away with his knee injury. Steve Cook, back next week on the 20th as well. Cook has picked up a bit of an injury, picked something up in the preparation. So hopefully he'll be back in a few days' time. And Scott McKenna, probably just available potentially to be for a fitness test and to be on a bench on Sunday. He's picked up something in training and he is a doubt, but we'll give him every chance. So yeah, I just think this is where Nottingham Forest need to pick up points at home in front of their supporters. And I think they could, like Lee said, but I don't think he'll be in this game, I'm afraid. So on to, that was a 2 o'clock kickoff, and on to the 4:30, which sees Chelsea at home to Tottenham. Probably the biggest game of the weekend, I should imagine. Both draw, well, I've gone with a draw, 2 apiece. A week ago, I'd have said Tottenham, and Lee's gone with Tottenham, 2-1. Both score, no draw is the tip for this one. And let's have a look at some injuries because it's the only way we can really tell so early in the season. You can't really give too much summary on teams because take a few weeks to find the feet in the Premier League. We've seen it famously with City last year, seen it with Arsenal last year. Didn't have any points for 3 or 4 games. And yeah, second game in, let's have a look. So Chelsea at home to Tottenham. Chelsea with 2 injuries. Mateo Kovacic, can't even read. Knee injury. There's no return date at the minute. Looks like quite a serious one. No return date either for Marcos Alonso. I think he's more trying to finalise his move, so he won't be in contention. Desperate to get out to Barcelona. Not sure how that's going to work at the minute. I can't even register players. So Chelsea at home to Tottenham. And Tottenham with 2 injuries themselves. Oliver Skipp with his calf and shin injury out till the end of this month, 28th of August. But at the moment, he's not available, and I think he also, for 2 or 3 games, he had a fracture in his foot. So for this reason, we need a bit of patience. He's just been a bit unlucky. Clement Lenglet from Barcelona has come in, and he will be back next week on the 20th with his abductor injury. So yeah, they've got Christian Romero, so they've got reinforcements. He's been an absolute dream for him. I think he could play at the back with him soon. Skipp, obviously, not really dislodged. Højbjerg at the side. Yeah. So 2 apiece, 2-1 in Leeds, but Tottenham. Both score no draw is a tip, and there's your injuries. So on to the last game, which sees Liverpool on Monday night, Monday the 15th of August, at home to Crystal Palace at 8 o'clock kickoff. I think Liverpool 2-1. They're making a bit harder work of things this year. Don't seem as fluent. And I think it's down to the fact that it might take a while for Darwin Núñez. Plus, everyone's getting a year older. Plus, less of time off this year. Less time off than what we used to, because obviously the World Cup's due soon. I think 2-1. League going with 2-0. 30 plus booking points is the tip. And let's have a look at some injuries. So Liverpool with 8. Thiago is the latest one with his thigh injury. We'll see, it looks pretty bad. He didn't look too happy. Potential return is the 18th of next month. Curtis Jones still unavailable till the 27th of this month. With Curtis caught in the right moment, it's just how it is with young players. We have some kind of stress reaction sometimes, and if they go over it because it's not massive pain, it can lead to something serious. So we're keeping them tabs on him there. So 2 returns on the 22nd of August, which is just after next week. Diogo Jota with his thigh injury, and Kelleher, the goalkeeper. So he felt something in the international game. Then we've got, in a few days, probably a bit late for the game, Konstantinos Tsimikas. So he'll train today for the first time, so he might be back. But 75% chance of the late fitness test. We've got Naby Keita with illness, should be back in a few days, should be back for Monday. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, thigh injury, no return date. It's a serious hamstring injury. And it will take longer, to be honest. So, and then Konate could be a while with his knee injury. No return date at the minute. God, looking thin at Liverpool. That could prove my point further down the line. And Crystal Palace news. 5 injuries for them. Nathan Ferguson with his ankle and foot injury, not back till 26th of December. Jack Butland with his wrist and hand injury, metacarpal fracture, not back till the 11th of September. James McArthur with his groin and pelvic injury. It's just a step back, it's an injury. Hopefully it's not going to be as long as we think. We have to wait on Monday to see how long it is. Michael Elise should be back in a few days. Probably missed the game. I should imagine it'll be a 50-50 chance for a late fitness test. He started working with the team today, so he's getting there and he's looking much better. We have a plan in place, and it's important for him to have a proper pre-season, so we're not going to rush him. And James Tompkins with a muscular injury, and no return date. It's currently being assessed. So that brings you all up to speed, I'm afraid, guys. And that's the end of me. So nice and brief. And thankfully, we've got Lee back next week. I'm going to have a nice trim for it because I'm starting to look like something from the Addams family. And yeah, that's all my news, I'm afraid, guys. So have a wonderful weekend. If you're checking some of our tips out and our score results, hope they come good for you. Let us know who you tend to go with, whether you side with Lee or whether you side with me, or whether you kind of have a healthy balance or a bit of a mix. So please like, share, and subscribe. Click on the bell button to keep updated with all our current videos, so as and when they come. And have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.